Hi everyone. Can you believe the semester's almost over? This is a 7-week session and we are in our 6th week. And I just wanted to review quickly what we're doing in the Unit 4 for the last 2 weeks. This week you'll be working on your project. And then here you can see the due dates. On Sunday, if you want to do extra credit, there's an assignment. On Sunday the 7th, you also will post your project in your assigned discussion board. By Tuesday, you will review the items in your discussion board, you will critique the items in your discussion board, and you will pose one question to each person in your group. By the 9th, that's the posting of the questions and everything. Then by the 11th, this is the first time this semester that you are required to answer the questions posed to you. You should not have to do any extra research. If you do, it's okay to say, I'm not sure about that. The directions are very clear that people should not be trying to stump you with the questions they ask. And then finally, on the 13th of March, you will submit your final reflection. So we're wrapping it up. So let's just take a second to go inside and look at Unit 4. There's the extra credit assignment. If you want to do extra credit, some of you do not need it. Some of you may want to do it. You can do it on an article that is not peer reviewed. It must be just common news. And you're going to summarize the article and relate it to 3 social determinants of health. This is the presentation project. These are the specific guidelines which I have open and I will go over. Then here's the due dates. And these are in your discussion board. And then this is where you will submit your scoring tool. So I'm going to open that now. So you score yourself, and then there's a sheet for you to score each of your teammates or your group mates. And it says in each row, you must leave comments in at least 3 of these rows. So there's 6 rows. You must leave comments for at least 3 of them. What happens is I delete this top part, which tells people who you are, and I share these documents with all your peers so they can see the feedback and see what you liked and what could have been made better. So that's actually the scoring process. The other item I want to look at with you is the final project directions. I just want to go over them quickly. The directions for the final project, if you look here, it says you're going to submit a brief paper with a reference list and your artifact. So this brief paper is 2 to 5 paragraphs or 1.5 to 1.5 pages, double spaced. The reason you're doing this is you're telling us about your topic and why you chose it and who it's for. So for example, if you're doing a PowerPoint presentation for healthcare workers on breast cancer, we need to know that because when we look at it, it will make more sense. If you're making a flyer for teenagers in an urban area on contraception, you need to tell us about that so that we know when we're looking at it. Make sure you answer all the questions that are listed here. And you notice you have to have a reference list. I grade for APA. If you're using something other than APA, please just let me know what you're using so I can grade based on what you're using. So the first item is your paper with a reference list, a very, very brief paper. The second item is your artifact, and the artifact is whatever you chose as your genre or format for your final project. So no matter what you've chosen, you must describe the disease and condition, address historical, legal, or policy issues, and address at least 3 of the 5 SDOH. Because you have limited space and words and time, you only can present the very most important items to your group. So this is not like a paper where you have to submit and write everything. I expect you to choose the most important and relevant items for your group. And you'll be scored on that. And then at the bottom of this, it gives you guidelines for the different types of things you do. Again, what's most important here is that you stick to what you've been assigned. And like if you're writing a letter to an editor, the letter is written to an editor. If you're doing a podcast for teenagers, that when we listen to the podcast, it sounds like you've done it for teenagers. If you do any kind of print media or social media, that we actually see what you're doing. If it's print media, then you would make your flyer or a trifold or a brochure using like Microsoft Office has templates and Canva has templates. Whatever it is you're going to do, you're going to put in what you need to do. We need to see the actual object. We don't want to see photographs of it. We want to see the object. So you will actually upload your brochure, your your flyer, whatever. If you're doing slides, you will upload your slide presentation with audio and video. And if you're doing social media, we have to see the end product. So there should be a link to a social media page that has not been made public yet where we can see all the posts that you're going to post in the near future. So again, that's really important that we see actually what you've created because that's what makes it so valuable for people to see in your groups. And let me see my scoring tool. So this is my scoring tool with you. I look at the content. I look to see if you have those paragraphs that's one half to one and a half pages long. I look at the accuracy of the content that you've provided, the SDOH. So these are the ways that I score it. So I just wanted to go over that briefly with you because it's a very important aspect. It's like you've been working on this for the entire semester and it's coming to a close. So in the discussion board, I just want to show you, prior to now, you have not been able to see other people's posts until you post. But for the last discussion board, you can see posts before you post because you can't copy from each other. So what will happen is, and it says here, discussion board 4, by Sunday, post your presentation with that narrative. So you'll attach a narrative, you'll attach your presentation, you'll post it. If you accidentally only submit one, then go back and submit the other as well. By that Tuesday, you're going to post questions and watch and score these. By the 9th, you have to answer all the questions asked of you. And I'm sorry, by the 11th, you have to answer all the questions asked of you. And then there's the scoring. I will fix that spelling error. So that's that. When you open it up, you will just create a thread, give it a title, and then what you're going to do is you're going to browse your local files and hopefully attach both items. Make sure your format is viewable across different types of computers. PDF is, the Microsoft products are because you all have that. Canva is, MP4s and MP3s are visible and audible across platforms. If you're not sure, just ask. So that's it. That's all I wanted to go over today. I just wanted to touch base with you, give you an update on what you should be doing these last 2 weeks. And I am looking forward to your projects. You've worked really hard this semester, and I know that I'm going to enjoy them. And I hope you enjoy each other's work as well. So have a great evening, and I look forward to seeing your projects next week.